Yeah, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? Nelly here again. So, today's podcast topic is gonna be around a topic that it's controversial a little bit, only because some people say that you need it, some people say you don't, some people use it, some people don't. It's okay. I use it here and there. I use it here and there. So, I'll share about how I use it, and then I'll go basically like more in depth. I'll go more in depth after I'm done going over the topic. So today's topic is going to be nothing short of basically fundamental analysis. All right. So fundamental analysis. What does that mean? Fundamental analysis means the fundamental of the economics and basically news. That's it. Fundamental analysis is just basically news. Okay. So the whole purpose of fundamental analysis in Forex, right, is basically like to utilize the news and know about the news to see what's happening within the currencies that you're trading, right? So a website that I use is my number one top website. They have apps and all of that too for this, but the one that I use is forexfactory.com. Again, that's forexfactory.com. Now, with that being said, you could use an app that's called like an investing app. It's investing, INVESTING, so whatever. So investing, and then you just look at the app. Find the app. You can find it on the Google Play Store, or even like iOS, Apple Store, whatever the case is. You can find it there, and then it'll give you updates on like what the current news are for each currency, each country, things like that. So the whole purpose of the fundamental analysis, right? Actually, the whole purpose of the fundamental, again, hey, listen, this is unscripted. I'm going like just straight up the top. Again, this is from me to you. This is not no funky professional thing. No, this is just me speaking facts, me speaking knowledge, and me giving you the raw of what a lot of traders don't. Okay. So again, touchy subject, right? Again, because some people use it, some people don't, and I'm already like thinking ahead of what I really want to say, but I want to go in line with like what I'm saying. Fundamental analysis, right? They're basically like, the news is basically like an economic like calendar, right? Like a indicator, right? So with the news, there's some of the big ones that you gotta like take note of, which like every first Friday of the month you have NFP. NFP stands for non-farms payroll. Okay, that's when they basically they take the whole employment data excluding farmers and stuff, and then they basically just tally up what the employment rate is, like, has employment jobs gone up or gone down, blah blah blah, right? And then that's basically what they do. I'm not going to go in full in depth in this because you need to do your research. You need to go ahead and go through your research so you can go ahead and like understand how to use this, right? And I'm going to tie this into the psychology part of it. Okay. So with that comes GDP, right? Gross domestic product, right? So this is basically like the calculation of monetary values and things like that, policies, stuff like that, right? And then another one is the FOMC, right? Federal's Meeting Open Committee, right? That's basically like a big one now, because every time it's like, oh man, like it really spikes and things like that. So they're basically just going again over monetary policies that are in the United States. That's it. So now, not in the United States, but they go over a lot of like monetary value and what it's valued at. I'm trying to think of another one. Interest rates. Interest rates is another economic news that's very important, because this basically tells how the economy can do over time. So if interest rates go up, then the economy, might struggle, especially if wages stay where they are and things like that, and people have harder times like getting loans or being able to go into homes and buy homes and things like that. So it's really it's really just a touchy scenario when interest rates spike and things like that, and then the economy is doing bad at the same time, right? So that's everything that has to do with like the news so far. Other things like news that are like just once in a blue, like presidencies, that can affect will affect the markets. things like that, where if there's wars affect the market, things of that nature, right? So the economic events, they affect the currency values in the sense that, like, if one country is doing better than the other, then that currency will have more strength in that currency than the opposing one that's not doing so well. Same thing. And then when it's like excuse me, when it's like that, like, for me, right? All right. For me, if I'm looking at a currency that I'm trading, let's say the euro dollar, right? And I see that the euro country, right? Europe is not like the UK is not doing well, right? It's not doing good, right? Then what I'm doing is I'm gonna see how I can cross-reference that with the dollar, and then see if the dollar can actually give me a great position to, in this case, like, short the dollar. I mean, not short the dollar, but short the pair, right? Euro dollar, because the euro economy is doing bad. Then you would sell euro dollar, and then that's it. And then in that case, you're seeing for short positions. Simple as that, right? That's how you're correlating basically the news with the pair and things like that. And then you want to take into consideration all the folders that they have on, like, Forex Factory. So Forex Factory, they have like a bunch of folders that's like gray means like a holiday, yellow means not so much, a low impact news, orange means medium impact news, those you want to look out for, red means high impact news, so the market could really fluctuate heavily, so you want to look out for those. And then other news might be like people speaking, like, for example, interest rates. You're gonna end up coming across James Powell or Janet Yellen. Janet Yellen used to be like the OG. James Powell, now he's just like running the show, and he's like basically just like left and right, just saying everything. I mean, by the time you hear this, maybe in the future or whatever, people might change or whatever. But right now, James Powell is running the show. But basically, the use of like these economic calendars, like, in your trading, is very key, only because it kind of gives you the outline to kind of expect when these markets should be moving, right? So, like, if you marked up your charts on, let's say, on a Friday, Saturday, when the market's closed or whatever, and then you're waiting on Sunday, but there's no news for Sunday, right? Boom, fine. And then Monday comes around, there's no news for Monday. Maybe it's a holiday, who knows, right? But then Tuesday, you start getting like 1 or 2 folders for Tuesday. So then you see a little bit of movement. But then on Wednesday, you see a lot of news, a lot of orange and red folders for your currency, your pair you're trading. Boom! Now you see that flux of volume into the markets due to the news. So how I look at it right now, this is where I combine economic news, right, fundamental with technical, right? Here's how I use it, right? And this is from a psychological standing point, right? Your job as a trader is to not fear news, okay? Your technicals, if they're marked up correctly, your technicals should automatically be able to mirror the news events, right? So what I'm saying is that, like, if you are drawing the charts, right, and you're saying, okay, cool, my overall outlook is for EU to fall, right, because of the bearish trend, and I'm looking for it to sell. Now, before the news hits, the market should be edging a little bit towards higher, right? Maybe hitting a certain price that it wants to hit, and then, or a certain level that it wants to hit, and then from there, when the news hits, it should, maybe play around, spike up, spike down, and then eventually go in the overall direction that you're actually marked up on your charts. And that right there will show you, hands down, the majority of where the news is, right? And a lot of times you see like the percentages of how much like the results were for that economic news. So sometimes they'll say, oh, well, they have like charts there what's like actual and forecast, things like that. And then that right there is basically like the numbers that will be able to tell you whether it's more or less. That's it. So for me, I'll look at the news like every day around 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The reason is because I want to see if there's anything new. Now, here's a little tip. Here's a little nugget, right? A lot of times you look at the news on, and I've done this before. You look at the news on Friday, Saturday, and then right before Sunday opens, right, like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you print out the calendar for the whole week. I don't print them out anymore, but I'm saying I used to. I print out the calendar for the whole week, put them on your wall or whatever, on your whiteboard or whatever, and then boom, news comes out of nowhere. You know, hits your stop loss or whatever. It just acts weird. Maybe throws you back down into Jordan after you've been in profit for a day, and then you're like, yo, where this news came from? And all of a sudden you look at the website, it's on there because you checked your paper, it ain't on there, but you check the website and it's on there. What the hell? A lot of times they'll refresh and something will come up. It's the same difference. It's the same difference as if you're doing your whole day and then something else jumps on your day, right? Maybe you're doing your day as usual, or let's say you're at work, right? Let's say you're driving to work, right? Let's say you're driving to work, and all of a sudden, instead of you going from your home to your job with no issues, right? You end up getting a flat, or maybe there's a crash or something, right? Maybe an alligator or something crossing the road or whatever for us Floridians. And then now you gotta like take a detour, and it's gonna take you another 20 minutes to get to work, and now you might get there late. That's the kind of detour that happens on the charts with the economic news. Not on the charts, but with the economic news. And that affects us because we got to make sure that we're on top of things. So if you're looking at the charts, at least at the economic calendar, at least every few hours, right? Then do that. If you know that you're like monitoring the chart on a daily or even 4 hour or even hour like basis, it's quick to just pull up forexfactory.com or the investing app, and then just look to see if there's anything like coming, around, coming soon to where it can affect your trades that you have open. And then that's it. And then from there, it's just automatically just going into that mode of just being in tune with the markets on both technical and fundamental side of it. There's a lot more to cover for technical and fundamental, but again, I'm not here to just throw a lot of stuff at you. These are just key things that if you look into each one of these things, you start to progress quicker and more efficient as a trader. So again, my name is Nelly. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions or anything like that, please just put them down below in the comment section. Like, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on that notification bell, because I already had somebody say, yo, I keep forgetting when you put your videos up and stuff like that. So please make sure that you click that notification bell, so every time I post, y'all already got like the notification on it. All right, so much love, deuces from my heart. I hope everyone's having a great day. I hope everyone has a blessed week, a profitable week, but at the same time blessed week. All right, deuces.